a wonderful experience for us, because I also work with the teachers for their professional development. That's my favorite topic. And
Yes.
I learned so many things from you today. And now we'll go start the question and answer section. I'll read the questions one by one, and you can respond to the questions.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
The first question is, how to remove the disparity in the teaching learning process in schools?
I know. Another disparity when we talk about, in fact, there's different kinds of disparities in schools. Is it disparity between preschool teachers, primary teachers, high school teachers, and therefore the children and the segments? Is it private schools and government schools? Is it maths teachers, science teachers who always get more importance than PE teachers or the music teachers? So disparity has different connotations. And I think this is where this idea of authenticity and critical thinking comes in, because if we think about things in terms with a certain sense of genuineness, we do know that physical development, physical education, artistic development is as important as development of children's capabilities in maths and languages and sciences and so on. And I think the new education policy provides the framework to begin to think about it. But eventually it's up to you and me. Nobody else is going to remove, the government is not, official is not going to come into every school to remove the disparity. School managements are not going to come in to remove disparity. It has to be at the individual level. It's up to all of us to say that we have to do the right thing and do things right. And I think that's the only way we can, and don't expect somebody else to do it for you. We have to do it for ourselves. So that's my short answer to it, if I may.
Yeah. The second question is, how do we truly help teachers recognize the fruits of their labor when this is often lost amidst the many students that we work with?
I know, that is true. And also partly because teachers and the teaching community, and I'm a big champion and ambassador for teachers, because teachers are unsung people. Even though we like to call it a noble profession, they're truly unsung in our country. And I as an ambassador of teachers and the teaching career, I don't think anybody else can help us. It has to be we ourselves. It's not for us to help teachers recognize the fruits of their labor. They need to have the confidence and the assurance that yes, I'm worth it, as that popular ad says. I'm worth it. So they need to be able to recognize it amongst themselves. And for that, people like you, Meera, and me, we have to help develop in teachers their own sense of self-confidence, self-esteem, and their sense of self-worth. Because all of us have to recognize the fruits of our labor for ourselves. Nobody else can recognize it for them. And that's again where, and that's where our own social emotional learning competencies come in, our own self-awareness, our own relationship skills and social awareness and so on. Yeah.
I totally agree with you for that.
Yeah.
The third question is, can you tell us how the Teacher Foundation approach evolved on professional development over 2 decades?
Yes, I'm happy to say it in very short. The Teacher Foundation is, it's not 2 decades as yet, it's nearly 2 decades old. We are about 18.5 years old. So in that, and I think Teacher Foundation was set up on the premise that teachers teach the way that they have been taught. And our premise was that we need to help them learn in different ways so that they will be able to teach in different ways. Because the reason why our schools are chronically rote-based, teaching is chronically rote-based, is because teachers themselves, even in their teacher training colleges, in their B.Ed or D.Ed institutes, they've been taught in a very rote-based, exam-oriented way. And if that has to change, we have to help them learn with meaning, learn with authenticity, learn through developing their critical capabilities. And that's what we try and do at the Teacher Foundation. And I say try and do because not that we haven't been successful, but because it's a long, arduous struggle. Because we are a country of about 7 million or more teachers. We have millions and millions of children who have to learn well and who have to be educated well. So it's a long, arduous struggle, and it's very difficult for teachers to shed old habits. So our aim is to help teachers experience a different kind of learning for themselves, a more learner and learning centered approach for themselves, because then that is something they can then transact or replicate with their own children in their classrooms, physical or virtual classrooms.
So the fourth question is, the teacher training institutes are not producing capable teachers. What should be done to improve teacher training?
Yeah, and I think this is one thing which is, while it's been talked about in the new education policy in terms of what are the mechanisms of educating teachers, we haven't touched upon the real crux of the problem. And the problem is that we need faculty, we need teacher educators who are able to transact and curriculum with potential teachers with a sense of authenticity, with that sense of building in cooperation, collaboration, critical thinking, problem solving ability, all the skills that the new education policy says needs to be fostered in children. So the big gap, the big lacuna in our teacher education, teacher training institutes is the absence of teacher educators who have the same skills. And also, more importantly, teacher educators in the classroom. I think it is very important for all people who want to be teacher educators or work in teacher training colleges or institutes. They need to have worked with children themselves, not just taught, because they are teaching adults. Teacher trainees are adults, but they have to have taught at 10-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 15-year-olds, and so on. They need to have known. Oops. Are you all there?
Yes, we are not able to hear you, ma'am.
Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry, I suddenly lost you all.
Yeah, we are there, ma'am.
Okay, sorry. So that is the thing. That's the reason why teachers, we're not producing capable teachers. It is fair and square. The reason is because our teacher educators need to be teacher educator skills need to be overhauled.
Ma'am, shall I add something to that?
Please, of course, this can be this is a dialogue.
Yeah, the teacher educators, I feel, should have worked in the schools to know the children, because many of the teacher educators have not worked in the schools. They have done their PhD and come as professors. So, I mean, it should be made mandatory that they have to work in a school to become a teacher educator. That's what I feel. That's a lacuna of what you're talking about.
Exactly. In fact, I don't think you heard me. I said that. I'm not sure if you heard me, because that's exactly what I said. I said that it's very important for teacher educators to have worked with children of different ages. Otherwise, they don't know what are the struggles of a teacher in the classroom.
True. So the last question is, which is that one unique quality a teacher must possess to be an inspirational leader and a mentor?
That's a tough question, so I have to give a simple answer for a tough question. So I'm going to say enthusiasm, and I'll tell you why. Because you need to be enthusiastic about your subject, you need to be enthusiastic about the children you're going to be teaching, you need to be enthusiastic for regularly learning, and from enthusiasm you will be able to acquire creativity, collaborative ability, commitment, and develop your own competence and capabilities, as I said earlier. So I think I would say the simple word would be enthusiasm, because with enthusiasm, you will also be authentic as far as your work is concerned. You will say what you believe in and you will do what you believe in. And that comes a full circle in a sense.